Hi everyone, thank you for watching and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am back with a scary story time, a paranormal series story time / get ready with me. Before I get into the story, I kind of want to explain why I made it to get ready. I am having lunch later on with my husband, my sister, my mom, and my son. And so I just thought it would be a great idea to just get ready with you guys while I tell you guys this little scary story going on. Grab whatever you guys like to drink, snack on, whatever. I got my wine going on over here just to relax a little bit. Because I tend to get a little tense. Like I feel like a little unsteady when I get into these kind of subjects. Because like I said, it is a little... These things were real. I wish I was making any of this stuff up. I wish I had the imagination or mentality to make these kind of stories up. But no, unfortunately, I'm not. And so I really hope you guys enjoyed the story. Like I said, it is a little get ready with me daily routine. For some reason, I get so many compliments on this makeup look. It's like the simplest thing, you guys. I swear to God, it's like the most simplest thing. No rocket science at all. And I get the most compliments. This is the kind of makeup look that I usually do when I have like a 3 or 4 hour shift at work. When I'm gonna go out and my husband's like, hey, let's go out somewhere right now, and I gotta get ready like in 15 minutes. This is what I usually do. It usually takes me about 15 minutes now. And the video is gonna look at takes me a little longer, but it's because I'm telling the story and I'm kind of explaining to what I'm, using and stuff like that. Just so like I don't leave any questions hanging, I don't, in case you guys comment or something, it can get back at you guys right away or something like that. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy the story time. And again, if you guys have any suggestions or anything you guys want to request, please let me know. And yeah, let's get to the story. Alright, well, I'm gonna do this while I get ready. Like I said, I want to multitask. I really fill this up. I need a full one today. I need a full one today. I don't know why lately I've been feeling like, I don't know, some type of way. I feel like I get a little tense when I talk about these kind of subjects, just because like that's how real I believe they are, you guys. Like that's how like real I feel like this shiz is. Okay, so I just need to get my hair out of the way and done. Alright, so like I mentioned before, I do carry all my essentials in one of these little boxy things and one of these little baggy things, and my camera just moved all the way around. Okay, so like I said, today is going to be like a get ready with me / story time. I'm going to be explaining a little bit, tiny bit of the products that I'll be using. If you don't like it, just skip through. Let me know if you just want like story times on the side and then get ready with me, or tutorials on the side. Today it just so happens that I have a lunch, dinner, or whatever you want to call it, with my sister and my hubby and the rest of my family. So yeah, so I'm going to prime my face. This is just the tinted moisturizer by Origins. I already moisturized my face, okay? Okay, so let's get into the story. So this takes place, I wasn't even born yet, okay? My uncle was like maybe in his 20s, maybe like 20, 21. And he's always been an ugly person. Unfortunately, he was the only guy. I think he was like the first one born between well, he was like, yeah, he was the only guy that was around the rest of my aunts and my mom, like he was like the only guy there. So my grandma made the mistake of spoiling him too much, where he just took everything for granted, and he felt like he didn't have to work. He felt like he didn't have to do anything to help around because he was the only man in the house, and instead of working hard and helping out, he felt like everything should be given to him because he was a man. He was like one of those machista guys, right? And so I'm gonna mix these two. This is the Becca luminizer and this foundation. I can't say the name because I actually created this foundation myself, so no big deal. Just use your favorite foundation. And I'm gonna apply this starting from the center and out and just blend it out with the sponge, okay? You'll watch me what I'm doing. So instead of helping out in the house, he just spent most of his time going out with his friends and just pretty much wasting his time and just pretty much doing nothing, absolutely nothing, but go out and stuff like that. And unfortunately, my grandma lost control of him. By the time that she wanted to make him, a better person, it was too late because she already raised him this way, right? So that's what happened. So unfortunately, he was hanging around with the wrong people, very bad influences. And this time, he actually pushed it a little too far. So just like any other day, my uncle went out with his friends that day, and he did it again. He went out or whatever with his friends, and this time they pushed it a little too far. Unfortunately, they were like, I think they used drugs at that time. Besides, I think he didn't drink. My mom said that he was not an alcoholic, but he was always under an influence, and they don't really remember what exactly was it that he was using. But in Mexico, there's this thing that they call cement, but it's not actual cement. That's just what they call it, and people just pretty much get high on it. And so what cement is it's shoe glue. So that thing is so freaking strong because it's shoe glue, you know, it's for shoes. It's what they use to make shoes. And so that thing is so strong, you guys, that I guess like if you sniff it for long enough, you get high on it. Like you get and unfortunately, yes, there is a lot of poverty in Mexico, and that actually takes, just like a lot of people here, I think they use like crystal meth and it takes hunger from them or something like that. So that's pretty much like that's pretty much like what they use in Mexico, you know. And it's called cement, and it's like so freaking cheap, and it's like on reach of everyone. So some people, like, because they're going through all that kind of stuff, like, I'm not excusing them, but because like they just have to deal with that kind of stuff, they get high on that. Now my uncle didn't have the need for that. Like, yes, they were you know, they were really poor and everything, but one way or another, my grandma, along with my mom and their sisters, always found a way to get food in their stomach for the day, you know. So my uncle didn't have the need to do that. He just did it because, like I said, he grew up to be a piece of crap, because unfortunately my grandma spoiled him too much, and this is why you not spoil kids. And so he was doing that. And you know, honestly, like, I don't judge. Like I've always said, like, those kind of things, you want to do it, do you, boo boo, you know. By the way, this set of Sonia cashew sponges were $7 both. Honestly, you guys, this does a better job than the Beauty Blender, and it's like spongier and bigger. I love it. So yes, and the reason why I mix Becca Luminizer with the foundation is because it gives me like a really glowy look, and it just, I don't know, I just get a lot of compliments. Okay, I never thought we'd get so many compliments. That's why I decided to do this makeup look on camera, because this is what I do on the daily when I'm not really gonna, like, I really don't want to think about it. It really just takes me like 10 to 15 minutes. It's gonna look longer now because I am gonna be telling the story as I go, but yeah, you get the point. Okay, so like any other day, they were just wandering around, messing around, and it just so happened that it was like the sun was coming down already, right? And remember, they're under the influence and they're wilding. Well, they thought it would be a super great idea to go to a cemetery. Since dark was already following them, they thought it would be something fun and a fun experience, something different to do, right? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, Maria, I know where this is going already. Oh no, you don't. Trust me. So you're picturing it, you know, these little 20-year-olds, about 4 to 5 of them, you know, they're under the influence, they're just messing around, they think life is good, and they think it's a great idea to go to the cemetery. They think it's a spectacular idea to go to the cemetery under the influence when dark is already falling on them, right? And so you're here thinking, I know where this is going. Well, not only did they go to the cemetery, oh no, they started wandering around the whole cemetery on their own. Like, why, right? Like, why? I'm gonna go with the powder. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop the story right here. You guys, some of you guys have been asking me what powder I use. I usually use the translucent powder by Chanel. This is actually a very rare version of it. The one that they have at regular retailers is fine. This is really rare to find. It does the same thing, okay? But as of for now, since I was running out, I decided I want to go on powder hunt, and I'm like, $50 on powder, or should I just go out there and see what good powder there is in drugstore? So I bought my usual favorite, and the Stay Matte by Rimmel, because I really want to try this one. This is a no goodie. This is a Stay Matte by Rimmel as well. And what else did I get? Oh, I got this one because I really been wanting to try this one, the Fit Me. And this is a usual too. These powders, they do their job. Honestly, like they work great for me. Honestly, you guys, they do the same job as Chanel. Like, they just set your makeup. You have nothing to worry about. Of course, it's not. This one is especially for oiliness, but it just does like the average job. If you guys are looking for, I don't know, oil control, whatever, that's probably the Stay Matte. It's gonna be great for you. If not, Oldie but Goodie, Laura Mercier. But I'm trying to like branch out from like, you know, high end and just go back to drugstore, because I just think it's a good idea. You know, like, you just, I don't know, there's good stuff there. It's just that you have to take time. I keep trying to open it like this and I just forget it's a twisty. Okay, so anyways, these guys think it's a spectacular idea to just go wandering around. Now, in Mexico, there is this thing horrible people do, and it's actually a crime. I really have not heard of that happening here in the US, but in Mexico, people go around opening tombstones, and they dig out the person that is buried in there, so they can take their belongings out, because because some people are buried with jewelry, and they actually make a living out of that, which is pretty disgusting. Getting, like, you can't even be at peace while you can't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just pretty disgusting thing to do. Now, my uncle luckily did not do that, but it doesn't get better, you guys. So his smart ass, because you see bones laying around, because like I said, these people go into tombs and they open them, and they just get the remainings out, and they take whatever they can. Don't you think they take the time to put the people back? No, absolutely not. They just take what they want to take and they go, So my uncle found a little stash of bones somewhere laying around, obviously from a victim from these people that tend to do that. And so he thought it was a great idea. Like, let's start tracing the events back, okay? These guys are wandering around under the influence. They think it's a great idea to go to the cemetery under the influence again. Must I remind you? They start wandering around on their own under the influence again. And so they find like little stashes of bones. My uncle was one of them. He ran into a little stash of bones, and he decides it's a good idea to grab a resortera. I don't know if you guys know what a resortera is. Honestly, I was like trying to search up an English name for it, but I couldn't come up with anything of it. In fact, Holly Salem, they still call them by its name. And so a resortera is pretty much like this Y-shaped piece of wood, and it has like these really thick, strong rubber bands on the side, and it has like a leather pouch. And so what you do is you get like pebbles or stones or whatever, and you shoot anything wrong with it. Now, my uncle unfortunately was one of those ugly people who thought shooting birds and knocking them down was funny with those things. Those things are actually, they were just meant to play around with them, like shoot bottles down or stuff like that. But they were just like, they're like that. Like I said, unfortunately he wasn't raised the right way, and it showed. So my uncle thought it would be a spectacular idea to grab some of these little pieces of bones and shoot them away with the resortera. I'm definitely gonna go in with my Bare Minerals foundation powder. Why did my uncle think this was a great idea, you may ask? No clue. No clue. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what the heck he was thinking. I don't know if my uncle thought that it was a great idea at that moment. I don't know if he was just trying to be cool with the rest of his friends. I don't know what he was thinking, but he did that, and he was shooting the bones. He was messing around. They were having a blast, and they thought it was hilarious to do that. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the other guys did that. I just know for sure that my uncle was doing that. Again, these guys are in their 20s, under the influence, wandering around on their own in a cemetery after dark. So just the scenario itself, it's like, what were you guys thinking, Okay, but it doesn't get better. Like, this is not a story about how my uncle was a piece of crap. No. Hold up. Now, my uncle, by some type of miracle, gets home without nothing happening to him, thankfully. He gets home, but again, he is under the influence, so he's under the influence, he's not really thinking straight. So the next day comes, and he's like, whatever, he wakes up, obviously hangover, because that thing is ugly. Like, I honestly, like, luckily I've never even been involved with any kinds of drugs, thankfully, thank the Lord. But I'm pretty sure the feeling after it must not be pretty. This is another thing I get a lot of questions about, the liner. It's actually the shadow from Jeffree Star. It's Dominatrix. And I use that actually for my brows and my liner, just because like it's so easy and on the go. It's just a perfect shade. This shade itself suits my hair perfectly since I do have red hair. But I get a lot of questions like, oh, what is that liner you're wearing? And even one of the girls was like, I've been looking for this perfect natural brown liner, and you're wearing it. She goes, what is it? And I'm like, it's from the Jeffree Star palette. Honestly, I never thought of using this as a liner. I just did it for that day. I think that day I was like on a rush or something. And I tried it, and I get so many questions about it, so many compliments on this makeup look, more than when I actually do like a beat face, Like, honestly, I get a lot of questions. I get questions from my eyes, from my brows, from my lashes, from my lips, from the blush, everything, you guys. So that's why I'm like showing you guys, because I get a lot of the comments and it's kind of hard to keep up. So yes. All right, perfect. Okay, so next morning he wakes up and he's his usually typical a-hole state of mood and mind, and he goes on with his life or whatever. He wanders off and does God knows what. So he most likely went on with his day and just totally forgot about what he did, and you know, what he did was vile and low, and I understand why it didn't go unknown or pretty much without anything being done about it, because honestly, you guys, at this point you're like, you know, it kind of sounds like, oh, like shits and giggles, but it's like, that was a very disrespectful asshole thing to do. You know, as it is, these people are already being disrespected when they're being taken out of their tombstones to get their like belongings stolen to them, and being just left there like they're just some kind of garbage and not meaningful at all. And then this guy comes and he starts getting their little piece of remainings and shooting them with this tool, la resortera, you know. And it's like, you're already thinking like, okay, well, you know, it was you know, it was something. Everyone makes mistakes, yeah, but mistakes have consequences, and some of them huge consequences. So that day totally came, of course, and he was sleep. I wasn't born yet, but he would sleep alone. He didn't really have a room. He just had like, remember I told you guys in my other video, my other haunted video, we all got our little piece of land, and my grandma gave him his, but he didn't want to do anything. He pretty much just like builds up some little small thing right there on his own with like whatever he can find. Like he was living like if he was an actual homeless, and he wasn't. Funny things that he owned that little piece of property, but he was just one of those. Like I said, he was raised like one of those pieces of poo-poo. Like he didn't want to do anything in life. So there he goes. He was sleeping at night and he starts hearing noises. And these noises pretty much consisted of like grunts, somebody complaining, somebody whining, somebody uncomfortable, somebody who's bothered. And so my uncle, as it is, even if he hadn't done that, he already had it coming, because he was even disrespectful towards my grandma. And there was a time where he asked her for money and she said no, and he called her all these kinds of names just because she said no. And it's like, you need to work, you know what I'm saying? So he already had it coming, but like I said, he pushed it too far by doing that. And so he started hearing these noises, and you know, it would just happen more and more and more until it got to the point where he was like really scared. And as far as I know, he didn't see anything, nothing ever like manifested in front of him, but he heard noises and he heard a voice telling him to go put his bones back. Now, simple. Go put the bones back and she or he will leave him alone. We really don't know what it was. We don't know if it was a he or a she. He just, you know, messed up right there. So it's like simple. Go put his bones back. Now, again, he was under the influence. It was dark at night. He doesn't know he knew what he was doing, but he was under the influence. You know, you're all dumb and everything. Like, I'm pretty damn sure that he did not remember where the bones landed exactly. So of course that was pretty much something impossible to do. At this point, you go searching for bones, you're gonna find all sorts of bones. You get me? Because like I said, that was not the only, you know, that wasn't the only little stash of bones that there was, because these people made a living out of this. So there was all these kinds of bones everywhere. And in Mexico, there's no, I don't know about now, but back then there wasn't any control as there is now, how they're taking care of, you know, making sure everything's clean. No, they didn't care. If they saw some hand out there, they weren't going to pick it up and dump it. It's a cemetery. They're just going to leave it there. And so that's what happened. You know, they told him, I want my bones back. And he's like, well, no freaking way I'm going to be able to do that, because, you know, I was stupid and I made a mistake of doing all this under the influence. I have no idea what the heck they felt. It was after dark, so how am I supposed to know? So he goes to big OG, my grandma. Now, let me tell you a little some about my grandma, okay? Because this is really important to know, because my grandma, okay, I can't get it to focus. This is Colopa by Clinique. I get compliments on this a lot. In fact, This is the blush. It's a blush. I originally bought it for eyeshadow. This is crazy. You wouldn't think it's a great blush, but it is highly pigmented and it's a little dark. You just have to be subtle with it. But it's freaking amazing, you guys. Like I said, I bought it for an eyeshadow. I use it sometimes as a liner. In fact, somebody commented on one of my pictures, like, is that red liner? It was this one right here. And I use it on my lips too because it gives me like this perfect tint. It's beautiful. You'll see right now. So I'm gonna be using it on my cheekbones. And like I said, we'll start with very little. So let me tell you something about my grandma, okay? My grandma has a huge history or story behind her, and I am gonna actually tell you her story one of these days because I feel like her story needs to be told for the fact that somebody owes it to her. And no, if you know, that somebody is probably gonna be me. Somebody owes her that. Like, somebody needs to tell her, like, they need to tell or say her story because you guys, my God, like, I don't even want to get emotional. But anyways, my grandma had experience with these kind of things. In fact, the devil had manifested. I'm telling you guys, like, out of nowhere, like, this freaking accent comes out. The devil actually manifested in front of her in many forms, and she was, her life was so rough, and she went through so much that she will face him and be like, cuss him out. She would cuss him out and tell him, get the fudged out or else, you know. I think I got a little carried away with the blush, maybe. So I'm just gonna go back with this brush and just like settle it down a little bit. Perfect. Okay, so my grandma had experiences already with this being, and if you had some paranormal activity happening to you, that's who you want to go to, because my grandma had the best advice. Not only was she fearless, not only did she ever cuss it out in his face, but she prayed as well, you know. She knew what kind of prayers, you know, would help you out and stuff like that. So my grandma said, you know, in this case, my grandma said, like, you can pray as much as you want, but if if what it wants it's bones, then you need to put the bones back. Like, you know, how disrespectful of you, you know, like. So he's like, you know, obviously he was like, it's impossible because I was under the influence. Again, like I said, under the influence is dark after dark. You know, he has no idea where the heck these bones landed or whatever, you know. So my grandma's like, well, either you put those bones back or she's not gonna leave you alone. And so that's what happened. There's something we all gotta do is respect. Whether you're okay with it, whether you're not okay with it, you gotta respect. And then when it comes down to death and all those things, you gotta respect. You gotta have some kind of respect. And so unfortunately my uncle didn't, and you know, honestly I can't say he got what he deserved, but he asked for it, you know. And so this soul would not leave him alone, and he told him, he's like, I need you to put my bones back where you found them. I need you to put them back. You know, obviously not in the nice voice I'm saying it. Obviously in the scariest, most, you know, most brutal voice that you don't want to ever hear in your life. You know, a ghost or a spirit asking you to put the remainings back. Bitch. Like, I don't know what y'all would have done in his place, but if I would have been him, I don't know, guys. I would have done anything to search for those freaking bones, because, like I said, a spirit asking you to put the remainings back is the last thing you ever want to have to deal with. Especially because you don't know what their or else is. You get me? You don't know. You just don't want to be haunted for the rest of your days by this spirit. Period. You get me? So, yeah. So, you know, obviously he asked my grandma. She couldn't help him because, well, he couldn't really do what, or he felt like he couldn't do the task that this soul spirit was asking him to do. And so one day, after all these warnings, I take it as warnings because, listen, if you have a spirit coming almost every single freaking day, every single freaking night of your life, telling you to put their damn remainings back, like, you opt to, like, better do it, you know, like, you better try your best to do that. And I would have tried my best to do that. Like, I wouldn't want to deal with that, you know. So one day, without a warning, okay, without a warning, my uncle gets dragged by the legs, just like you see it in the movies, like Paranormal Activity and all that stuff, how like they drag them by the legs. Well, my uncle was not only dragged, but he was lifted in the air and dropped. Now, I don't know about you guys, but with that being said, if that doesn't want to make you straighten up your life, I don't know what would. You get me? Because not only are you being haunted by a spirit, I'm gonna go in with this Clinique lip balm. It's called Black Honey, and it's beautiful. It's like it doesn't come in this packaging. This was part of a gift. It looks like this, you guys, but it's not this dark. Look. You see that? It gives me the perfect hint of like wine, and it just perfect. I broke it. Jokes aside, I cannot go through one of these without breaking it. Now, what I love using a lot, and unfortunately was discontinued, was this Smashbox LA Lights. It's called Sunset and Wine. It's just one of the most beautiful like wine shades. I don't know, it just gives me like the feels. Now, if you don't like tint like these, I suggest you find a lipstick that goes with your complexion and your hair. That's what I did. I get so many compliments on this makeup look. I mean, I like the way it looks, but I just take it as it's just more like my natural makeup look. But oh my god, I always get so many questions. I think it's just the contrast with like my red hair and the tint. I'm not sure. Just find a lipstick and a blush that goes with your skin tone and your hair, and trust me, you'll be one of those too. And so now I'm going to add a little bit more of that Cola Pop on my lips because I just like it to last long. These balms do go away really fast because it's pretty much like chapstick. So I like to add just a little hint of it just to like emphasize the color and prolong it a little bit more. It just lasts longer because cream and powder, remember what I said in my other video? Creams and powders, for some reason, it just makes it last forever. And I went a little bit out of the line. But yeah. Now, to be honest with you guys, I really don't know exactly what my uncle did to get rid of that spirit, as ugly as that sounds. I don't know what he did because my uncle was one of those people, or is one of those people because he still lives. It's one of the people that like to wander off, and he would wander off for many days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months. So a little bit after that, like a little bit after we found out what happened, like how that spirit pretty much came over here and got his revenge, we pretty much, we didn't know what happened to him. We lost track of him because he left. Like I said, he will leave and come back like in months. And that's what he did this one time. And so I don't know what he really did. I'm not sure if maybe the spirit stopped afterwards. We never asked him. Like I said, my uncle was just like one of those weird people. Like, I don't know. He was just like kind of antisocial and just awkward. He was weird. But, well, he's like actually not just my uncle. He's like my padrino. But like, I really don't have that kind of contact with him. I really don't. But yeah, he would wander off, so we really don't know what happened, whether he managed to get rid of that spirit, or did that spirit leave him alone, like after, you know, coming back and pretty much dragging him and lifting him and just letting him fall as a lesson for doing that. I'm pretty sure the spirit figured that, you know, it wasn't gonna happen because he couldn't do it. I don't know, you guys. I just think it was just really creepy. It really creeped me out when my mom told me the story. But like I said, bad things really tend to follow my family for some reason. Well, not for some reason, mostly because they were really rude with my grandma. Like I said, there was a point where my uncle asked her for money. She said no, and he started calling her a witch and like all these ugly names, all these hurtful, ugly names that a mother should never have to hear from their child, as much as their mother is not, if in their thoughts, is not worth respect, you know. But yeah, that's what happened. It's real, and I'm just gonna go in with my setting spray and just set that up. And yeah, let's just get that extra luxurious dewiness into your skin. I love it. I get so many compliments on my skin, and like you saw, I use a minimal foundation. I mostly focus it on my T-zone and just blend it out. I go back with a sponge, so pretty much it blends it out. Like it takes some of that excess foundation off, and it's perfect, just perfection. I really hope you guys enjoyed this story time / get ready with me, my daily routine pretty much, and what I get a lot of compliments in. If you guys have any requests, any comments, please let me know in the section down below. Oh my god, this wine relaxed me so much, you guys, that I feel like just taking a nap right now, which I'll probably do because I still have like a good hour before I have to pick up the hubby and get going to lunch. So anyways, if you guys have any requests, any comments, please let me know in the comment section below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video slash tutorial slash story time slash whatever you want to call it. Please let me know if you guys like these get ready with me slash story time tutorial, because I do have a lot of stories coming up. Like I said, a lot of paranormal things happen to my family, and I do have a lot of those coming up because we got a lot going on. And I really want to tell you guys, I really want to share my grandma's story with you guys because it's actually really heartbreaking, and I think a lot of you guys would understand maybe why so many bad things, like so many evil things happened to her. Like why I think, well, what in my opinion, I think that's what was linked to it. Like it just followed her for that reason. I don't know, you guys. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, night, whatever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching my video, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much. Positive vibes and lots of blessings for you guys. Bye, guys.